Don't you want devoted followers who leave their families for you, give their money to you, give their bodies to you, give up their lives for you?
Sororities. They have a deep root in American culture, with the first women's fraternity created in 1867. Now these organizations can be found at almost all schools in the United States. But growing up, movies and television series showed these groups as the worst of the worst. Stuck up, rich, and girls who pay for their friends.
Is that our 5-Pete? That's that 5-Pete!
This is me. My senior year, captain of my sorority's Powder Puff team. Growing up, I never played sports, and for sure never saw myself in a sorority. But this film isn't just about me. This is about the sororities of Santa Cruz, and how we define the stereotypes. Well, at least try.
We just want to push them to their limits.
I'd really rather not be, the butt of other people's jokes.
You're just miserable the whole week.
I'm not sure what the brother's gonna make us do, but I know it's gonna suck.
They haven't seen anything that even remotely prepare them for this week.
The Greek community in Santa Cruz is pretty small, especially compared to other schools, which can be credited to an MTV show called Fraternity Life. In 2003, a fraternity at UC Santa Cruz was chosen for a reality television series showing the life of typical college frat boys. However, during the filming, a task for the pledges to steal a koi fish from the Porter Pond and then fry it and eat it overall took things a little too far. Although this footage was never actually aired, it was enough to bring the city of Santa Cruz to the decision that all Greek life is pretty bad. But now, almost 15 years has passed since the show was aired, and sometimes it's still hard to show that we're trying to break the stereotypes.
I think Santa Cruz sororities are completely different from typical sororities. They're so relaxed. Well, one, Santa Cruz is just relaxed in general. So our Greek life in general is kind of reflective of that.
I think that it's a really close-knit community, and I learned that I waited a whole year before I rushed. So in that year, I actually got to know a lot of the girls that were in sororities because everyone's just friendly and open. So I got to become friends with people that were in sororities, even though I wasn't in one.
Where I grew up, Yuba City, California, Northern California, nobody really was in sororities, and the particular group of friends that I had were very anti-Greek, because they totally believed all the stereotypes, like super girly and likes to party and all this stuff. I never thought I was going to be in one.
I actually wasn't going to my freshman year, because I was kind of like, oh, sororities are going to be small here. Like, I heard a rumor that was 1% of the school, which I don't know, it might be, I don't. But, and someone talked me into it, last minute.
So here at Santa Cruz, we only have 3 Panhellenic sororities, Gamma Phi Beta, Kappa Kappa Gamma, and now Kappa Alpha Theta, which just joined this school year. These Panhellenic sororities can be found at schools all across the nation and Canada, which is what sets us apart from the other sororities on campus. But since there have only been 2 of these sororities for such a long amount of time, many got the impression that we are one versus the other instead of organizations who do things together.
I would totally say that Panhellenic organizations are similar to each other. Mostly because since we follow the same guidelines, it's almost like the same kind of rule book, so to speak, that we kind of all abide by.
I think they have slight differences, and when you're going through recruitment, you see the slight differences, but when I went through recruitment, they were so similar that I couldn't, it was the hardest decision ever to choose one of them because they both are filled with amazing people. They both have great philanthropies. Their social aspects are very, very similar. So I think they're super similar, yeah.
Greek Week is a time for all the Greek organizations around campus to come together and have friendly, competitive sport activities going on. And you can do like futsal, you can do basketball. We do powder puff, which is really big within the Panhellenic and like AY.
Greek Week is where, I don't want to use the word hatred, but kind of the competition really, really arises between the organizations.
Powder Puff is the one event in the entire year that everyone looks forward to. It's by far the most intense event that goes on for Greek Week.
Powder Puff, yeah, it's very competitive flag football, sometimes accidental tackle, where we practice for almost 2 quarters straight. Everyone has a position. It's very intense, at least on Kappa's side, and I know G-Phi as well.
Especially with Kappa, it's really intense because we have won 5 years in a row, this year being the 5th. And so we really
It's a lot of
like,
pressure.
it's a lot of pressure, but it's fun. It's fun like keeping that tradition going, because at this point, 5 years in a row, it is tradition to win.
Beast mode. I got to maintain, 'cause it like me is going insane. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the membrane.
Whoa.
Good game.
Good game, good game, good game. Good game, good game, good game. Good game, good game.
Yeah, I would say this year more than others, though, was a little bit more intense.
At the end of the day, like, I might get, like, frustrated when I mess up or, like, if there's a bad call, but, like, it never affects me beyond the moment. And I feel like with some people on Kappa and G-Phi and whoever, I feel like they get a little carried away with the fact that it's, like, not, it's just a game and it's, like, just for fun. And it's supposed to be something that brings us all together. But I think sometimes it's, like, the biggest dividing factor.
One person that's known as a Kappa or a Theta or a G-Phi posting something inappropriate or posting something that isn't seen as positive in everybody's eyes, it reflects on the entire organization.
It's totally that whole aspect of having a glass of water and then dripping like one little dye, like red dye in it, and then it just kind of spreads throughout the entire glass. And unfortunately, if non-Greeks see like Greek members acting inappropriately or talking shit out in public, when like it sheds a negative light on us because it makes it seem like we're not as unified as we actually are, and then it makes people not want to join.
From both sides, no one is guilty. Not one org is ever more guilty than the other because we're the same thing. I mean, and I think people forget that a lot, is that whatever one org does reflects on the other one.
Here at Santa Cruz, the sororities do more than just recruit and hold formal dances. We have philanthropy events in both organizations, raising money and supplies for different foundations. We create opportunities for people to grow, and the Santa Cruz Greek life helps create a close-knit community at such a large school.
It has given me not only just amazing people to be surrounded by, but it gives you so many leadership opportunities, so many opportunities to kind of step out of your comfort zone.
I do think being in a Greek organization has helped me. It's definitely built up my confidence a lot. Like, I was already a confident person, but I think being more confident in my communication skills, and my leadership skills, and being able to be assertive without being mean. So I'm super grateful for joining a Greek organization.
Being in a sorority has changed me for the better. My org has flown me across the country, sent me to leadership trainings, and has given me so many opportunities for my future that I wouldn't have without them. I honestly can't vouch for all sororities, since every school is different, but I can truly say that joining Kappa at Santa Cruz has helped me become the person that I am today.